Hi, everybody. I'm hoping that everybody can hear me okay. This is kind of a weird deal. I just got done painting everything, so my hair is still up in a ponytail. I was hoping I'd have enough more time to, do my hair and stuff, but it ain't happening. So we're just going to have to roll with whatever we got. So I am here to answer some questions. Of course, if you've never attended a Q&A, there's a chat bar off to the side. All you have to do is simply start asking questions, and we can start rolling from there. So let me know first off if you guys can see and hear me okay by entering something in that chat bar, if you could please, so that way I know that everybody can see and hear me. So, and I want to make sure that my stuff's up and rolling too here. So can you guys, somebody says, hey, how are you? All good? Yay, people can hear me. So, like I said, you have to forgive me because normally, like I said, my hair's down and I'm a little bit more organized, but we're just going to roll with it today. So if you guys have never attended a Q&A with me, a Q&A is a chance for you to ask any questions that you want. Understand that I will not be doing personal readings with this one. That's with my real talk here, believe, in about 2 weeks or so. So this one is more or less for answering those weird questions that you might have pertaining to your spirituality or anything metaphysical from pretty much any topic, really. So this is one of those where, like I said, we just roll with it. We're just going to go with and see how things roll. Somebody get some chapstick. Terry is asking right off the bat, does spirit have a sense of humor? They do. I mean, they really do. I mean, especially if it's like a family member. So if I'm doing a mediumship type reading and I'm reading somebody and your dad was naturally funny and cracking jokes, that will come through in the reading a lot of times. So 9 times out of 10, I can usually say, gosh, your dad really had a sense of humor. And they're like, yeah, he did. And I'll say something about, maybe something that they're wearing or make fun of them somehow jokingly. And that always seems to ring true for that person. So they absolutely do. So do your spirit guides. And the main reason is because it's not all serious business all the time. A lot of people would like to think that this is all serious. And I'm like, no, it's not. They actually play jokes quite a bit, especially some of my spirit guides. So yeah, they absolutely have a sense of humor. So okay, somebody's talking about, Deanna's talking about this Mercury retrograde thing. Okay, so Mercury retrograde is in full swing here. So what's kind of happening is we've had about 3 weeks ago a major upswing of energy, and this upswing has really blown open our heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakras. And so a lot of us have been struggling with the ear ringing, the headache, dizziness, not being really able to focus very well at all. And what I've been telling people is make sure to ground down. Now today, here in Nebraska, we had a low front come through, which makes a lot of us tired anyway. So some of it's environmental too. But at the same time, I've been telling people just go with the flow for the next few days here. The energy is going to be pretty wanky. So you're just going to have to kind of roll with it. Make sure that you stay hydrated. I know whenever we have big shifts like this, people forget to stay hydrated and they get completely exhausted. So if you're really tired, most than likely you're pretty dehydrated. So make sure that you're drinking a lot of fresh water. And then also make sure that you're grabbing those black crystals too, because the crystals are going to help to kind of balance you out as well. They'll help to ground you to open up that root chakra. So, eating things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, root vegetables are really going to help to open up that root chakra as well. So that's going to help to balance out all the la-la-las that you might be having. So make sure that you're doing that because you're gonna want that. So okay, let's see here. Jenny said that she visited the store Saturday and wanted to buy everything. Right? So that's the hardest part, is actually owning a crystal store and being able to decide what you want. And with me having 3 teenagers at home, I never get anything cool because I'm afraid they're going to break it. So I don't ever get to get really anything cool for me. I know that I have one piece of huge honeycomb calcite, but that's really all I have. So we did go to Tucson. We came back from Tucson. We have a lot of goodies. I know Eric's been doing a great job posting. I'll do a video tomorrow talking about, this Mercury retrograde, the best crystals for Mercury retrograde. But we've both been just kind of really piling on the crystals, and they've been going really fast. So we've been having a hard time trying to keep everything in stock. We did place another order here recently with a different company. It's a new company, so we don't really know what to expect. So we'll know it when we get it in. We got some new and different items coming in, so we're pretty excited. So again, I know that some people kind of came on late. Remember that this is a Q&A. I will not be doing readings in this one. If you want to do those readings with me here on YouTube, that is what the real talk is about. This one is just more or less for metaphysical, spiritual type questions. So Carol is asking, can you ask signs from a certain person? Absolutely. If you're grieving over a lover, that you say thank you. It's really important to say thank you, because when you say thank you, you're acknowledging it. And if you acknowledge it, it's only going to open up that line of communication between your loved one, you and your loved one, even more. So given the opportunity for you to get that sign back, make sure that you tell them thanks. So and that will help you to even get more. So Johnny is asking, is there anything that we need to do before a reading? No, not really. Just show up. So my job is a little different. I have to meditate, eat well, and be ready to go. So your job, you just need to show up and be open-minded. Otherwise, that's all it really requires. And most of the time, I'm going to answer the questions that you want me to answer before we even get to me asking you if you have any questions. So that always works out really nice. Shauna is saying, when the kids are outgrowing their intuition, is that related to trouble with emotions or just normal change? I'm gonna tell you that's normal change for those. And I am working on, and it will probably, it's gonna be done in like 2-3 months yet. But I'm working on a children's program. So about the Indigo kids, the Crystal kids, and the Rainbow kids. And it's gonna be a program. So, and how to help parents raise those type of kids, because they have a lot of questions. And I know that I'm raising some of those kids too. So I've got some pretty good pointers. And after listening to everybody else talk about their kids and what they've done, I got some really good tips and tricks on how to help them. So that'll be coming out in about 3-4 months here, by the time I get it edited and shot and everything else. So that's going to be all about psychic kids. Denise, when I practice sitting in the power, I get butterfly-like muscle spasms. Is that from connecting with my guides and or spirits? Denise, I'll tell you, that is you connecting with God's source energy. That is you opening up your crown chakra and simply sitting in all of that power. So that is ideally really what you want to do when you meditate, is just to sit in that power and know that you can use that power then to manifest anything that you want. So that is the perfect way to be able to do that. So okay, seeing number combinations constantly. SW, yes. So the different number combinations mean different things. So if you're seeing the 1111s, usually that means that you really aren't in control of your thoughts, and you need to start controlling your thoughts better through meditation. If you're seeing the 2s, it means balance. If you're seeing the 5s, it means change. If you're seeing the 6s, it means that you're concentrating on money too much, on the lack of money, and not concentrating on the abundance of it or how to get more of it. So each one of those combos means something different, but it has to be able to resonate with you. So sometimes my 1111 might mean something different than somebody else. So you kind of have to find your own truth in that. So I did on my blog at psychickelly.com write about the spiritual meanings behind those replicating numbers. So you can check those out. Okay. Brittany, I'm not reading tonight about your health, but if you let me know what your health problem is, I can tell you the emotional component that's back behind it that's making you sick. Have you ever had a spirit just take over and persistently nudge you to do something for them, or that you can control that? Dee Dee, spirit never controls me. Ever. I control spirit at all time. So they never, anybody for your highest good is never going to tell you to do self-harm, harm anybody else. They're not going to talk about devastation and destruction and all this negative crap. They don't do that. That's not what spirit guides do. So a lot of times at the beginning of the year, a lot of people are like, hey, are you going to do yearly predictions? I'll tell you what, I don't do that, because my spirit guides aren't going to talk about the doom and gloom when it comes to stuff. So personally, I don't do those for that reason. So because a spirit guide or a loved one is never going to leave you astray. And personally, I tell spirit how to line up what to do and what they need to do for me. Yes, they still guide me, but they're always doing it for my highest good, never for the negative, never. So, and I've told them that a long time ago. And I say it, I state it with a fact. I'm just like, if you are for my highest good, then you can stay here. If you're not, then you must leave. That's it. So you got to remember that you are a spirit in a human body, and they are just a spirit without a body. Therefore, your energy will trump every single time. So make sure that you speak with, with what's the word I want to use? Just make sure that you speak very clearly and simply. You don't need to do this whole big long prayer or this ritual to be able to do it. You don't. Just make it pretty black and white and simple. Besides, they don't like it all complex and fluffy. Just get right to the point. They don't like fluff. So, okay. Dunny is asking what my favorite astrology source is. Personally, I have a really good friend. Her name is Crystal B. Astrology in New Jersey. She's an absolute doll. She's very intuitive, and she uses astrology with her intuition to help guide you for the year. She does a whole year spread, and she is spot on. So if you've never gotten a reading from her, I highly suggest you do. So personally, I like her. She is now doing classes, which finally, she's been doing awesome. So that would be another one. Marcy is asking me, what are my thoughts on the Loch Ness Yeti, etc.? They live in a fourth dimensional realm. We are living in now a 5-dimensional realm. So they do exist just like Bigfoot, gnomes, fairies, leprechauns, the whole gamut. So those are, they're different kind of spirit in a different realm. They do exist. Sometimes their, realm kind of comes into ours. So sometimes we see them. Other times, we don't. But if you ask to see them, they will show up. But like I said, they're not nearly, some of them aren't as nice as what you'd like to think. So they can be a little mischievous. So, but they do exist. They're just simply put in a different realm. So, Angela, what are the emotions creating pain in my body? It depends on what kind of pain. Like I said, you need to give me is it autoimmune? Is it your back? Is it your neck? I need to know where. Carol is asking me, can I see or feel when a person has a disease? Yes, I can. So it's getting a little weird because now I'm getting even hospital staff, doctors, and nurses coming to me with diseases that they can't quite figure out. Now, I am not a doctor. I cannot diagnose anything, but I can suggest to you what I see. It just turns out that usually I'm right. So it freaks people out. So Shannon is asking, will Shungite help with the 5G? Yes, it will. Shungite and Orgonite are the only two things that will help protect you from the 5G wavelengths that are going on here in Omaha. People are like, oh, 5G, it's already here, guys. It's already active in Omaha. It's already going. So if you don't have any Shungite, I highly suggest you get some. We sold out of some of our pyramids. We're going to be getting some more in. But Orgonite or Shungite are the best thing that you can do. I tell people, get some pieces, stick them in the 4 corners of your house to protect your entire house. Bigger the house, bigger the crystal you're going to need. But they really do work very, very well. Especially, I highly recommend Shungite if you're, living underneath like a power line, a major power line. You're going to want to block that. So Shungite is the way to do it. So, okay. Sun mixed a bunch of my stones and agate with my stones. Yikes, how can I tell them apart? Sarah, send us a picture. Either send us a picture on Facebook through Awakenings. We'll help you out with that. That's no problem. We got people that come in all the time with just crystals. They're like, we don't know what we have. We're more than happy to help you out to figure it out. So just bring them in. So either bring them in or send us a picture. We can do that. An owl is constantly present in the grove behind my house, and I've been dreaming about owls constantly. and get a feeling of peace. Owls are very spiritual birds, and they're the messengers along with hawks. So look up the meaning, the spiritual meaning behind an owl, and see if that resonates with you. And if it does, then most likely that very well could be a spirit guide animal of yours as well. So, but I like owls, are cool. Justin is asking if he's broken, feel like spirit guides and angels aren't around anymore and he doesn't feel them. No, you're not broken. That simply means that you're not vibing high enough. Now remember, your reality will always take precedence over your spirituality. So if you have drama going on in your real life, if you are holding a lot onto fear, anger, guilt, if there's a lot of drama going on with your family, you're going to have a lower vibration. Therefore, you're not going to be able to hear, see, feel, or know if your spirit guides are around you. So you've got to fix your reality so you can tap back into your spirituality. So hopefully that one helps. Angela, lower back, feet, and ankles. That means to tell me that you are always worried about money and you're very stubborn and you don't want to make any moves in your chessboard due to fear. So it's time to face your fear, especially when it comes to you changing up your job. Most likely, that's why your lower back is hurting so bad, and the feet and the ankles. So make sure that your root chakra is open, Angela. That's the one chakra that you really need to make sure to work on. Okay. Dee Dee is asking, do aliens fit into that fourth realm? No, they're usually a little higher. So they're usually 6, 7, 8D, depending on the circumstance, depending on the alien, depending on where they're at on that scale. So no, usually they're not that lower. They're usually higher. So that's a good question. Terry's asking, do we all have alien blood in us? Honestly, yep. We're pretty much the guinea pig experiment here on Earth. So, but yes, we are. But that's why if you go clear back in time, even back in ancient Egypt, even in cave paintings, you can see that we've always been connected to something like that. So, yep. Okay, Cassandra's asking, stomach and colon issues mean what? That means that you don't have a lot of self-confidence within your own family complex, and colon issues means that you feel like your sibling gets treated better than you. So that means to tell me that you need to do some dark night of the soul work or shadow work when it comes to your family dynamic. Remember, you picked your family. Your job is to figure out why you picked them in the first place and what exactly they're teaching you. And I guarantee you it's positive. You have to really dig in and look in that direction. That's not easy work to do. That's why it's called shadow work. It's not easy. So Carol's asking, so do pets communicate? Hell yes. Now, I am not an animal communicator. Nope, because all I hear is bark, bark, and meow. So I'm not good at that. I will tell you that Cindy Downing here in town is an excellent animal communicator. So she can do that really well. Not me. Not me. So I'm good with dead people. I can talk to people, but animals, I'm not that good at. So Michelle saying kidney problems. It's unresolved anger within your family. So you really want to be able to speak your truth, but you won't, because either they're not going to hear you, nothing will get resolved, or you just don't want to speak up due to fear. So that's what kidney issues usually revolve around. So are H negative people say we're not of the earth. You know what? Nobody is. You're just a different type. That's all. So nobody is here that's domestic here on earth. And no. So let's see here. Johnny's asking, I was adopted at birth. Did I pick my adoptive family or my birth family? Johnny, I will tell you both. You picked both. Coming into this world, you chose the abandonment issue. You actually chose a double abandonment issue, which that is a difficult issue coming into this world. A single abandonment issue is tough enough. A double abandonment issue is really difficult. So that's a tough That's a tough one to pick for yourself. So, but you have to learn unconditional love through parents that aren't there to teach you that. So that's really tough. So, but yeah, you picked them both, both sets. Danella, chronic pain kicked up to an almost unbearable level. Try the root foods. Daniela, the biggest thing I'm gonna tell you, and I know this sounds really counterintuitive, stop talking about it. Don't wear your pain like a badge of honor. If somebody asks you how you're feeling, don't be like, oh God, I'm having a terrible day. Just like, you know what? It's okay. It was better than yesterday. If you end it on a good note, you're putting your body and your emotions in a place to heal. The body will always heal itself. It's a self-regulating mechanism. It will always heal itself if given the right parameters. If you're in a victim mentality or a negative mentality, the pain is only going to get worse. And that's really hard. That's really hard for you to be happy when you're in pain. Right? So figure out the little tiny things that do make you happy and focus on those and keep yourself as busy as you possibly can so you're not hyper focused on the pain. Totally understand. Easier said than done, right? Easier said than done. Okay. M. Wilbur, 2004. How do we find our purpose, career, or passion? I'm going to tell you what, it's real simple. Follow your curiosity. If you've always been curious about how to play the guitar, go learn. If you've always been curious about what it's like to work in a hospital, go job shadow somebody. Follow the curiosity because your curiosity will always lead you to your life purpose. So get curious and start in on that curiosity. So I'm funny because I tried a lot of different things because I've always been curious. And all I do is ask somebody who happens to be working in that area, hey, can I job shadow you for a few days? Never once have I heard a no. Never once. I signed a few forms, a few waivers saying that I'm not going to sue them or liability stuff, but I love it. I mean, I really do. So if you've ever been curious, go job shadow somebody. Why not? So you're not out anything but a little bit of time. And if it's meant to be, it will be awesome. And if it's not meant to be, it will be terrible. You'll know right away if you're supposed to go there or not. So pretty simple. What emotions are at play with autoimmune and the development of allergies? Melissa, autoimmune is different. That is viral. That just means to tell me that you are constantly in high stress. And so you have got to learn how to de-stress and really look at what stresses you. Is it because you're just busy? Is it because you don't have enough time? What can you get off your plate that you can de-stress? And a lot of people I'm noticing stress over the dumbest crap. They're stressing over, oh my God, I got to get the dishes done. No, you don't. No, you don't. They can wait. If your family needs you, that's more important than sitting there breaking your butt and not going to bed at night because your dishes and your laundry aren't done. Prioritize what really matters. Having your house be perfect or having a little bit of a mess and having more time with family and less stress on your plate. So time to prioritize a little bit better, but that's usually very high stress situation. So people always think that I'm underneath high stress. I'm really not. I just balance really well. So, I mean, I've got 3 teenagers. I have this job. I co-own Awakenings and kids are in sports. They got school stuff and everything else. Plus I travel. I do a live audience reading. I do workshops. I'm really busy, but I'm not stressed. If you're really doing what you love, you're never stressed. And besides, no, I'm not home to do my dishes. So I had to hire somebody to help me with my house chores. That doesn't make me any less of a person because I'm choosing to spend that 2 hours with my kids instead of scrubbing my floor. So look at the priorities. What's most important? And then that's going to allow you then to de-stress over time. So autoimmune issues is because somebody's really high stress or high strung a lot. All right, cool. Courtney, yes, diverticulitis is absolutely related to anxiety. Yes, yes, yes. So just like I was saying earlier, stress and anxiety, same verbiage as far as I'm concerned. Anxiety is because you're trying to control things that you have no control over anyway. So literally give it to God. It's a lot easier that way. Does a leap year have certain significance? Not that I know of, but maybe it does to a numerologist. I'm not a numerologist, but it could. That's a good question. Actually, I'd like to know that question. Are some Mercury retrogrades worse than others? Yes. This one isn't going to be as bad, guys. It's in Pisces. Whenever this one goes retrograde, the way that it's sitting, our intuition is going to be phenomenal. Not only that, the creativity is going to be spot on. So if you have been thinking about some creative projects, just write down your ideas for right now. Don't worry about organizing them. Don't worry about starting them. We don't want to start anything at a retrograde, but you are going to have some awesome ideas, especially when you're doing mundane chores. So what I mean by that is like you're taking a shower and you're like, oh, damn, that's good. Well, if you don't say it out loud or write it down, you're going to forget it. So make sure to verbally say it out loud so you can remember it in that conscious brain. Because I guarantee you, you're going to get some gold here. So, and I am too. I'm actually looking forward to this retrograde because, like I said, it's sitting in Pisces. So it's really more involved with love life than it really is anything else. So this one in particular isn't going to be nearly as bad. So the one in July kicked everybody's teeth in. But this week, out of all the weeks, this week is going to be the toughest one. So we get through this week. The other 2 weeks left of the retrograde shouldn't be as bad. So, but it's really kind of make or break when it comes to relationships. I'm going to tell you what, remember, exes always come out of the woodwork when it comes to retrogrades. It's a no-go. Exes are exes for a reason. No. So don't be taking back your ex here, okay? So, but like I said, it's really going to be heightened as far as your intuition is concerned. So when you get those awesome hits, write them down. Don't forget. I even have stuff in my notes. So like I said, get that stuff down. It's gold. So, Michaela, are pendulums intended for one person? Yes, they are. So, and they are only for questions about yourself. So it will give you a false read if you're like, oh, does my boyfriend love me? Sorry, you're asking for somebody else. That's a no-go. It'll give you a false read. So your best bet is to ask it questions about yourself and yourself only. Okay. Do I have any thoughts on Kabbalah? I've been feeling a pull towards it, mentally and spiritually rocky, go for it. That is your truth. Go for it. I've studied a little bit and it really goes well in understanding with what I know. So personally, I love it. I'm going to tell you, go explore it. Every time I got deeper into that rabbit hole, I would find something else that really resonated with me. So I like it. A lot of people don't understand it, but I like it. So check it out. Like I said, if it's calling you, gotta check it out, right? Okay. Melissa's asking me, do I believe in chiropractors? Not only yes, but hell yes. And I will tell you 2 reasons. One, time out. My brother is a chiropractor. Okay. So, but my daughter had her first adjustment when she was 2 weeks old. My son had his first adjustment when he was 2 hours old. Both of my kids, when I raised them, they're 14 and 16 now. Rarely do they have a cold or flus. Rarely are they sick. I had no ear, nose, throat issues. I had no teething issues. I had no issues with my children whatsoever. I used to have migraines. I don't have them anymore. So like I said, do I believe in chiropractic care? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. So I like I said, I'm rarely sick because of it. So what causes knee pain, Gabby? It's depending on which knee. So the right knee is because you're in fear of taking a step forward and ending a job, a relationship, something along those lines. If it's your left knee, it's usually because you don't think of yourself as spiritual or creative. So it depends on the knee. Marilyn's asking, do I help law enforcement with missing persons? Yes, I do. I also help certain churches with certain things. I won't say which ones, but I do. What are you going to do? If the sheriff's department calls you, you're going to say no? Of course you're going to help them. So I just don't talk about it. I don't brag about it because I don't want people thinking that if their loved one goes lost, that they automatically call up a psychic. They don't do that. It's not like that. And I don't call the police department. So if they want help, they have my number. Everybody does. So I probably help about once a month, not that often really. So like I said, if they're calling me, it's because they're kind of stuck. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, I usually don't like to talk about it just because that's just something that you do. No, I don't charge them or the church. So that's just something that you do if you have these abilities, because it's the right thing to do, because I'll tell you what, if my kid went missing, I don't care who the police department calls. Find my kid, right? I don't care. So, but like I said, I just don't talk about it. Why does my store give me so much calm? Because I sage the crap out of this place. So it's actually really high vibe. I intentionally put it that way. Some people that aren't used to it actually get kind of weirded out when they walk in because it's a high vibe place. So my brother is a chiropractor. His name is Ben Hansen. He's in Blair. He owns Hansen Chiropractic Wellness Center. So he has an office here in Omaha and in Blair. So check him out. He's a cool dude. So, Frankie, lower back feet pain. We were talking about that earlier. Lower back pain is because you're probably doing a job that you hate going to every single day. And the knee pain is because of that lower back pain, which is you're unwilling to get out of that job because you're scared to death. So both of them are linked because of your job. It's all financial. So change the job, lower back pain goes away because the body will then get in a place of allowance to heal itself. Emily's asking if she should apply for a new job. Yes, go ahead, but don't, sign on the dotted line until after the retrograde. So, Johnny's asking, sometimes my emotions go from positive and motivated to not wanting to get out of bed for weeks. At what time? What can I do to fix that? Johnny, I would tell you, on the days that you're motivated, absolutely go for it. But the days that you're not, do one thing. Just do one thing so you don't feel like it's a wasted day. So, I get those too. I get those days myself. So, there's just certain days that I'm just tired. So, I'm like, you know what? If I get the laundry done today, we're going to call that a win. Well, then I end up getting the laundry done and the dishes. All right, double win. So I don't go to bed feeling like it was a wasted day. So do one little thing and tell yourself out loud. Talk to yourself out loud, because you're the only one who's going to call yourself out on your own crap. So if you talk to yourself, it slows your brain down so you can negotiate with yourself a little bit better. So, Justin, what crystals help with drama? I will tell you any of the jaspers, especially like poppy jasper, brecciated jasper. The jaspers are all the get your shit together stones. So any of the jaspers are really good for that. So just snoop around, go to awakeningstore.com and look at the jaspers. And if they're singing to you, if you're like, ooh, that's kind of a cool looking rock, then that's the one you need. So, okay. Mindy, remember guys, I'm not doing readings. Sorry. I'm not tapped in. So that's why I don't even want to try to do readings because I don't want to give you a false read. So, let's see here. Mindy is asking neck and back of head pain on right side. Mindy, I'm going to tell you that very well could be your third eye chakra opening. It's really common when your third eye chakra opens for the right side of your head to hurt and back over here. So if it is truly a neck pain, then literally somebody around you is a pain in your neck and you're allowing them to continue to be a pain in your neck. So stop allowing it. So if that's the case, but most likely that might be because your third eye chakra is opening. Remember, it opens both in the front and in the back. So it's like kind of like a tornado or a vortex in the front and the back. So it's both. So which crystals help with grief, Regina? The best ones are going to be, let's see here. I know Apache tears helps with grief. Rose quartz helps with grief. Malachite will help with grief. Any of those stones are great. So Apache tears are probably the number one for grief. How do you make your workplace and home vibe high if you live in a work with toxic people? Cassandra, keep your vibe high. Remember, high vibrations will always make it what it'll cause dysfunction within the whole toxic area that you're working in. So what happens is cockroaches don't like light. So if you vibe high enough, eventually they're going to go away. So that's how Mike, shine as bright as you possibly can. Go in with a positive attitude and leave with a positive attitude. And if they get sick of you being too positive, be even more positive. So, all right. Dalmatian Jasper, Kendra's asking what Dalmatian Jasper is used for. Animals. They're best for animals, people that want to communicate with animals, people that have animals, people that really are drawn to animals. Dalmatian Jasper is perfect for animals. Sound healing, Michaela. So there's different ways that we can heal our body. Absolutely. Sound healing is just another avenue. So basically our chakras resonate or vibrate at a certain hertz or frequency. By you having a singing bowl or tuning fork or even music on YouTube at that same frequency will help to heal that chakra by having the same vibrational frequency as of it. And if you have two frequencies the same, remember, they don't double, they quadruple. Okay, so there's a certain word for it, but I forget what it's not atrophy, but it's another word. But it actually works. There's a science behind it. It makes total sense to me. So if you have a certain chakra off, like I said, you do sound healing for it, or you can grab a crystal, or you can do aromatherapy, or you can wear certain colors. There's color therapy. So there's a lot of different ways that you can open up or align a chakra. So that's just a few of them. Okay. Justin, I constantly have dreams where I constantly try and go home. What do you think that means? It literally means it's going to take you back to that childhood setting, or home sometimes for me is heaven. But usually it's bringing you back to that home setting because that was probably either really comfortable for you or really uncomfortable for you. Either way, there's a lesson in there that you haven't learned, and that's usually why you're going back to it. So I have rocks that have signs on them. I have no idea what they're used for. Depends on the sign. They very well could be a chakra sign. Most likely that's usually what it is. So if you have a crystal that has a chakra symbol on it, it's specifically for that symbol or for that chakra, excuse me. What are my thoughts about programs? Unless you get yourself into a really big pickle, I don't think most 99% of the people have to worry about programs or programming, or removing seals or any of that stuff. I just don't think that's really necessary. But of course, I've never really come across somebody that I think absolutely needs it or not. So, I'd have to look into that really to kind of give my opinion about it, but I need to look into that. So honestly, I can't give an opinion on something that I'm not that solid with knowing about. How about that? So Lynn's asking, I have a gift, but over the years it's weakened. How do I strengthen my gift? Meditate, 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 and simplify. Simplification is the easiest way to connect. So a lot of times if we have clutter in our house, if we've got clutter in our office, if we got crap all over, constantly going 100 miles an hour and you don't stop, you're going to lose it. So, and you don't ever lose it. It just gets kind of clouded over. So the biggest thing is let's get you back into meditation and simplicity. Remember, simplicity is bliss, really is. So not OCD. I'm not talking everything has to be whistle clean for Pete's sakes, but I am talking about just a simple cleanup, clear of clutter, simplicity. Carol's asking, can you use oils and crystals to up your vibes? Absolutely. Is it possible to attach? Okay. Michelle's asking, is it possible for someone to attach a bad spirit to you? No. So it's the same thing as curses. I'm sorry, I don't believe in curses, because if you believe that you're cursed, then you are. Because if you are in a fear-based reality where you think everybody's attacking you or somebody's attacking you psychically, well, clearly you're in a negative state of mind. Therefore, if you're in a negative state of mind for a long period of time, things are going to start going wrong. So, and it's not because you're cursed or you have bad luck. By the way, if you ever have a psychic that tells you that you're cursed or you have bad luck, get your money back ASAP, because they're a fraud. Because that's just crap. That's what people do, especially old gypsy tricks. They try to tell you that, oh my God, you have a curse and I'm the only one that can remove it. And if you give me your credit card number, and if you give me your jewelry, and if you give me more money, then I'll remove the curse. And then what they do is they'll call you back 2 weeks later and say, oh, it didn't work, but I have another ritual that I can do. So if you're constantly swimming in that fear, that's how gypsying, if purgatory is a true realm. I call earthbound spirits purgatory, because you're not in the light. You're just an earthbound spirit. So yes, that's what I would consider purgatory. So purgatory is not a good or a bad thing. It just is. So, I mean, just some guy could have died, fallen off his horse on the Oregon Trail, and then you buried him and he's still trying to figure out what the hell's going on and where the heck his family went. So we can cross people like that. We need to cross them over and have them go home. There's also certain angels called carrion angels. That's their job, to cross people over in that earthbound spirit realm. So to me, that's purgatory. There is a hospital setting over in the in heaven too. So because you can't go from depression and sadness and grief for years and then you commit suicide and then go right into heaven. That's too far of a jump for a soul, emotionally speaking. So what we do is you'll still go to the light. You'll just cross over into the hospital, and angels will kind of get you reconfigured to have you remember who you are at a soul level, and get you spiritually back up to snuff to get you over into heaven. Then you can do your chores and everything else that we do over here. But usually if we're in the hospital, we're not there very long. So about Earth time at the most. I've heard somebody there 3 months are Earth time. So usually they're not there very long. So, but for me, I don't think purgatory is a realm per se, but earthbound spirits are in purgatory because they're not in heaven and they're not in hell. They're in that in-between state. So hopefully that one answers that question. Aaron says vision changes, neck and head pain, crazy vivid dreams. Tip for managing: get your black rocks. Ground, 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 ground. So grab black rocks. It's getting nicer outside. So if you can stand to be outside for even 5 minutes back up against a tree, oh yeah, that'll help to ground you too. If you can't do that because it's cold outside, chill out in the basement. So grounding out in the basement will help as well. So, shungite, good in bracelet, better on ankle. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I like shungite bracelets personally. So, especially if I'm working around a lot of electronics and stuff. I get the shungite with one side that's like a sticky pad to it, and then the other side's kind of flat. I have that on my phone, on all of my computers. I have it on my webcams. I have it on everything, because just to protect me from the EMF. Because right now, I mean, I have a huge setup here. So I have a lot of EMF being thrown at me, and I don't think that's good. So I have a little sticky. It's like I said, this little flat, round, sticky thing. So we sell them here at Awakenings. Barb is asking, what do I think of astral projection? I've done it. It's fine. A lot of people do it in their sleep state. A lot of people do it during their REM sleep. That's when you astral travel. That's when your soul gets out of the body. You go to heaven, you say hi to everybody, and you come on back. That stuff's real. So you can do it also in a meditative state. So if I meditate for about 45 minutes, which I don't meditate that long, but if I do, then I stop breathing, my soul leaves the body, and I can start walking around. I'd rather not do that, because when I get back into my body, I'm in a la-la state all day. Like I can't focus. I won't sleep. It's just, I got things to do. It's not worth my time. I just meditate for about 20 minutes and I'm good to go. So, can we buy crystals for others, or do you need people buy them on their own? I'll tell you, SW, that's a really good question. It is best crystals are best gifted to them. Now you can buy them yourself. Absolutely. I do all the time, but they're best actually gifted to you. Same with tarot cards. If somebody gifts you a set of tarot cards, most than likely they're the exact ones that you need. Same with crystals. So, but yeah, absolutely. When am I doing aura readings again? I usually do those monthly, once a month. So I don't know what the date is for next month, but it's sometime in March. So, any tips on meditation? I have a hard time with it. You know what, Courtney, I'm going to tell you what I tell people, especially younger than me, I'm 43 years old. So people that are younger than me, what I tell them is sit down, watch the birds outside and be bored. That's it. Be bored. You're going to find that just sitting there for 10 minutes is difficult in itself. So your job, sit there for 5 to 10 minutes and do absolutely nothing. That's how you start. Do not expect to sit there and control your mind and think of nothing. It isn't going to work. You're going to get pissed and quit. So your job is to sit for 5 to 10 minutes and be bored. That's it. It's pretty simple. So nothing, don't expect anything magical to happen when you're meditating either. It's crap. You've got to be a pretty experienced meditator in order for something really miraculous to happen, but don't expect it. Don't hope for it. Don't wish for it. It just don't. It's a lot easier just to go into your meditation, just be like, I'm just going to sit and chill for a little bit. That's the best response that you can get other than expecting, because if you're expecting something to happen and it doesn't, you get pissed, you quit, you won't finish. So that's why I tell people, no expectations, sit, chill. That's it. Met a guy literally in my head. He just knew everything. How is it possible? I don't know. It's possible. Anything's possible, Amy. So like I said, spiritually, absolutely. Melissa, do I believe in hell? Well, if there's a heaven, there's absolutely a hell. But I'll tell you what, a lot of times people don't stay there very long. So when you get down there, you're like, okay, God, my bad. I want to go home. So, and if you think God's going to keep one of his children there for very long, doesn't happen. So you'll go home. So, but it's not something that none of us really have to worry about, especially if you're enlightened, you don't have to worry about it. So it's negative entity attachment, people that are possessed, yes, that's a different bird. But 99% of us never have to worry about that. So just remember that you create your own reality, but you also have karmic debt to pay. So if you kill somebody in this life, in the next life, you're going to be killed. So, or vice versa, you get killed in this life. So either way, karma is real. So because the golden rule exists, you treat people the way you'd want to be treated. That's it. So, and whether it comes back in this life or the next, you're still going to have to repay that debt. And that will be in your chart when you choose to reincarnate. Okay. When you awake from sleeping to your name being said, what does that mean? Ooh, that's good. That means that's your spirit guides. So your spirit guides will always say your name. And when they say it, it's never scary. It's almost like, I heard my name and it sounds familiar, like somebody that I know, but I don't know. And then your logical brain goes, what the hell? Somebody just said my name. Woo! And you freak out, right? So, but usually what that is that's your spirit guide calling your name. So that's how it starts. So that means to tell me that at that time you're meditating. So then you're not thinking of anything. If you're not thinking of anything, you're meditating. Therefore, that's how you talk to your spirit guides. So that's how it starts. Angela, do I believe in twin flames? Yes, twin flames exist, but I am so sick and tired of everybody telling me that, oh my God, I know my twin flame. Twin flames are extremely rare. Very, very rare. And they are the only reason why this terminology has come about is because of these children coming in. Now we're indigos. There's also crystal kids and rainbow kids. Now when rainbow kids find their twin flame, then I'm going to sit there and say, okay, that's a twin flame relationship. But that's so rare. Usually your twin flame is going to be a spirit guide, or they're not incarnated in this life. So this whole verbiage came about here just recently. I'm going to tell you 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you it's not a spirit or it's not a twin flame. Most likely it's a soulmate connection. Okay. So twin flames are two people identical in this world to help the rest of the world. Okay. So they have the same birth date, the same look, the same agenda, the same purpose, the same eye color, hair color. Only one's a girl, one's a guy. That's it. But people love to sit there and want their relationship to be something more than what it really is. I'm sorry, it's an egoically based thought. So you are your own person. You don't need a twin flame to complete you. You don't need a soulmate to complete you. You are complete with whom you are and your divine energy and your connection to God. That's it. So I think this really gets lost in translation a lot, and it's made to people like to use it for an excuse or for protection, but ultimately, I'm sorry, I think it's very egoically based. So that's my opinion on it. Hypertension is absolutely stress, Michaela. Stress, and it's internal stress. So Kendra's asking, every night before I go to sleep, I get more clarity and good ideas. Why does that happen? Because you're meditating. Right before you go to bed, you're not thinking of anything. Same with when you wake up, you're meditating. That's the best time to get some of the best ideas. So learn how to meditate through the day. So that's going to help a lot to clear up that stuff. I think my daughter's a rainbow kid. Rainbow kids are under the age of 5 right now. They are not older than 5. Maybe 6 years old. I'll give them that. Usually most of the kids between the ages of 6 and almost 25, 27 are going to be crystal kids. And crystal kids have big eyes. They're very sensitive to textures, especially in their mouth or their clothing. They're sensitive to light. They're sensitive to allergies, especially. They're very emotional. They're not logical. They base everything on their emotions. So and they're natural healers. They're always attracted to animals. So, but that's a really good one. Rainbow kids are, if two crystal kids get together and have a child, that's a rainbow child. Rainbow kids are fearless. They have no fear. They know that if they die, they're going to come back around again. They have these eyes that when they look at you, they look into your soul. So, and you know a rainbow kid, and they are unique. And they know everything about you before you even say anything about them. They talk telepathically. That's why a lot of times crystal kids do it too. They'll put their forehead to your forehead and they'll try to talk to you or communicate to you telepathically. And if you're not listening to them, they'll headbutt you. If they're headbutting you because they're frustrated because you're not listening to them. So, and again, I'm going to be working on this whole, like I said, this whole idea of indigo, crystal, rainbow kids. It's going to be called Psychic Kids. That's going to be coming out in about 3-4 months. So that'll be a whole program. I want to make it fairly affordable too. So, but it's going to be like a series of 5 different videos that you can watch on your own time. So, and I'll be describing about, how this came to be, what, who, what, when, where, why, and then how to help raise those type of kids. And a lot of these, if you remember, I'm an indigo warrior. So I'm an indigo straight through. I am old for an indigo, but I'll explain why I'm an indigo and how we can raise indigos. Indigos are the hardest children to raise. So I've got some really good tips and tricks on that one. My cousin twin girls that are almost 1 talk to me telepathically. Absolutely. Yes, they can, Janet. Your job is to clear your mind and respond back and watch what they will look at you and go, I heard that. You will know it by their eye contact. So that one that's pretty cool. Autistic kids and I do that a lot. So they'll try to talk to me and I will turn and I'll look at them and put my eyes to theirs and then I'll put my eyes down because they don't like eye contact. And then I will say in my head, I hear you. What do you need? And a lot of times they'll go, oh, or they'll make an audible, oh, like a gasp almost, like, oh my gosh, they heard me or she heard me. So absolutely talk to them telepathically. All you have to do is try to clear your mind. That's the hardest part. So, okay. How do I find about past lives? Okay, Jennifer, I'll tell you what, here's a great trick. I'm going to tell you, do not, and I teach my students this too, do not go to a psychic or a medium to find out what your past life is. You want to know why? Because I can make anything up and you would believe it. I am an evidential medium. I want evidence. And I'm going to tell you what, I can make anything up about anything and you would believe it in a past life. Your best bet is to go to somebody that is specialized in hypnotherapy and do a past life regressional hypnotherapy session. Now, personally, I've done mine with Tim Taggy at A+ Hypnosis here in Omaha. Good guy. So, and he owns A+ Hypnosis. It's wonderful. So give it a shot because you're tapping into your higher self. You can't fib with your higher self. And it's great because he goes with you step by step and it's very comfortable. It's not creepy. I didn't fall asleep. I felt very much in control of what I was doing and what I was saying. And I remember everything that I said, but it's really cool. So if you've never done it, I suggest you try it. It's worth it. Angela's asking me about the 144 souls. You know, I don't know about that. Personally, I see 144 every single day. So I don't know. I don't want to sit there and say, oh, I'm part of the 144 because that's very egoically based. And I'm just like, I'm just here to help people. So whether I'm part of the 144,000 or not that it says in the Bible, I don't know. I don't really care. So like I said, I'm not going to sit there and label myself as one of those because again, that's an egoic way of thinking about it. If people want to label that for me, fine. That's not my label. So, but I don't label stuff. I really try not to because again, that's an egoic response. So, but I see that number in particular every day. And I mean every day. So it's on a license plate. It's on my phone. I will see a telephone number with it every day. So, I mean, I'm assuming that has something to do with it, but for me, it doesn't resonate with me. So I'm still trying to figure out what that might mean for me personally, because again, I don't want to be that egoic person. So somebody's applesauce is asking about the corona coming to us. I'll tell you what, guys, remember, if you are in a high vibrational state, you can get licked with somebody that has the coronavirus and you won't get it. Because if you're in a high vibrational state, you don't get sick. So be in a high vibrational state, turn off the damn TV and quit looking at all the fear-based bull crap that's on TV all the time. Oh my God, we got this virus. Oh my God, we got this. Oh my God, we got that. I don't watch TV for that reason. There's always something negative going on and it's always fear-based. So I refuse to watch it anymore. I've been a lot happier since. So Josie, best way to practice your gifts with anybody that's open-minded. How about that? So how about that? That's the best way. Just practice, practice. So Michaela's saying, I think your kid's a crystal kid. Yep. The crystal kids are natural healers. They respond better usually to alternative medicine versus medical medicine because those kids are usually very allergic to like penicillin, things like that. So you have to watch the allergies for stuff like that. But almost always they respond better to alternative meds than medical meds. I am so glad to see more integrative medicine and integrative medicine doctors coming out. I consider those bridges. They're both alternative and medical, and they're putting them together. I want more. So, but yeah, they're getting there. So, but that brings both worlds in. I'm sorry, but I'm not all, oh, we got to do everything chiropractic and alternative. No, I'm sorry. If I break my arm, I'm not going to go to, put some essential oils on it and hope it works. I mean, we have doctors for a reason. We also have our alternative ones for a reason too. I'm just a proponent in using both. So that's just my opinion though. So seeing orbs around me, yeah, that's normal. So I don't usually notice them. Everybody else does. How do you get in a high vibrational state? Good question, Jessica. Simply put, be happy. Simple. Be happy. The three highest vibrational emotions that you can have is joy, happiness, and gratefulness. The three worst emotions you can have is fear, anger, and guilt. So make sure that you're swimming with joy, happiness, gratefulness. Those are your high vibe ones. So, and love. So, and that's a lot of soul searching. That's a lot of being able to forgive somebody because of their ignorance. It's being able to let go of something because they don't know any better. So it gets easier the more you practice it. It really does. I mean, I've got a lot of haters. I mean, let's be real. I'm a psychic medium in Nebraska. You better have some thick skin, okay? So, but I got to forgive the people that want to judge me based on whatever they may think or know. So, because they don't know me, they don't know my connection to spirit, they don't know my connection to God. And if they want to judge it, that's okay, because that's their truth. It's not my truth. And just because their truth and my truth is different doesn't make them wrong or doesn't make them bad people. It just, for me, that's their truth. And I'm not going to argue with them on their truth. I'm simply going to say, God bless you. I'm going to turn around and walk away. So, because I don't owe anybody anything. I don't. I owe me. So, okay. Yes. Let's see here. Stephanie's asking, how do I find my purpose? I said this one earlier. Follow your creativity. And I talked about the replicating numbers. A lot of people are seeing those replicating numbers. If you are spiritually enlightened, you are going to see replicating numbers, and you will see them every day for the rest of your life. So that's why if you come to Awakenings, all of our prices are like $3.33, $4.44, $11.11. We price it like that on purpose. So enlightened people get it. Unenlightened people are like, why do you price it this way? We're like, ugh. So, seeing a lot of light abnormalities. Yeah, that's normal. Like I said, it's whenever I'm talking and talking about God and angels and spirit guides, we get a lot in. So it's so weird. I don't get me wrong, I love angels, I do, but whenever I talk about them, my ears go at a really high pitch. You'll see them zip behind me, and it gets to be kind of distracting. So I don't usually like to talk about angels too much, because when I talk about them, they show up and their energy is very high vibe. So I try to kind of not talk about them a whole lot because of that. Told granddaughter to tell her papa she needed to know he was around. She asked for feathers, and she has seen two. Absolutely. You ask, you receive. That's funny. I get a lot of people that'll come to the store and say, I asked for this, and then all of a sudden it showed up. I'm like, okay. And they're like, whoa. I'm going, but you asked for it. Ask and ye shall receive. Ask. I get a lot of people like, well, when am I going to get money? I'm like, well, have you asked for it? They're like, well, no. I'm like, well, maybe you should start there. So people forget, ask what you want. So how do you know what your spirit guides are? Ask them to come through in a dream state. That's going to be the easiest way to do it, really. That's going to be the best one. So okay. Christina, best crystals in the house. I'm always all for amethyst, smoky quartz, black tourmaline, clear quartz. Bigger the crystal, the more energy it's going to push and move. So generators or points or orbs make it really nice and even. Clusters also can do it too. So I also like selenite, especially for people that have insomnia issues, next to your bed. And of course, good old salt lamps. Can't go wrong with those. Those just push out negative ions, which are always good for the body. So Josie, Mercury retrograde causing strange dreams. It's the upswing of energy that we had that's causing crazy dreams. So so let me ask one more. Let's go, because we're almost out of time. How do you find your spirit guides' names? Sarah, two different ways. One, when you're meditating, ask them to come through, or two, ask them to come through in a dream state, and just ask to meet one so that we don't get all confused. So just ask to meet one spirit guide and work with that one spirit guide for a while. Lastly, Johnny is asking, do I have a meditation CD? I do, because I wrote it. So it's called 10 to Zen, 10-minute guided meditations, and a book to go with it. So it's available on Amazon, or you can do it through awakeningstore.com. It comes with a CD. If you do it through Amazon, it will come as an iTunes format. So you can do it. It's called 10 to Zen. I wrote it 2 years ago. So I would tell you, do that one. And lastly, Michelle, I'm going to answer this one for you. Uterine issues are issues if you're dealing with your father or you're dealing with your husband. So it depends on the circumstances, but usually uterine issues is because your dad was around, but he wasn't a very loving father, like huggy, kissy type of guy. So usually that's the one. So I want to thank everybody for, again, tuning in tonight. I'll be in live audience reading in Des Moines here in 2 weeks. I do know in March, I'll be in Omaha doing a live audience reading at the Sheraton Hotel. I'll be also in Kearney, I think either the end of March or in April. So I am on tour. So my tour is going to be starting in Des Moines. So then, like I said, Des Moines, Omaha, and Kearney. I am still continuing to do workshops. I'm switching up the format on my workshops. I'm still going to do workshops in person, but I'm going to be going through Zoom instead of the any meeting that I was going through, because I think more people are going to be able to adapt through Zoom a little bit better than they can, because it's more user friendly. So I'm going to be doing that more. But like I said, I'm still going to be doing lots of workshops. I'm also going to be doing a lot more videos. So make sure that you subscribe here to my YouTube channel, and then make sure to give me a like on this channel. Other than that, thank you guys so much for attending. If you have any other questions, again, psychickelly.com or awakeningstore.com. Thanks, guys. You take care and have a wonderful week. Like I said, Mercury's in retrograde, so know your do's and don'ts. I'll be sure to post some stuff on Facebook too. So if you haven't followed me on Facebook, be sure to do so. It's underneath psychic/medium Kelly Miller. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful week. Hang in there. Bye.